On this episode of Monkey Bullshit, we go after President Trump's speech today about the riots. Now, I don't necessarily know what to say about this man. I think it's quite clear he's a habitual liar, an utter buffoon. He's making our nation look like a complete laughingstock. But he's the president, and thereby it's important that we listen. It's important that we listen because he speaks to a core group of people within this nation. That core group of people at 44%, you got to understand, if we split up the vote by three parties, 44% would make this group a majority. And so it's important that we understand why he only speaks to just that group of people, because they're trying to split the vote in a way to make it so just this majority has power. Let's break down some of the monkey bullshit he spins in his speech today.
Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, my first and highest duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. All Americans were rightly sickened and revolted by the brutal death of George Floyd. My administration is fully committed that for George and his family, justice will be served. He will not have died in vain.
He will not have died in vain. How noble, how nice that he would not have died in vain. The issue isn't him dying in vain or even George Floyd getting justice. That's not why people are upset. People are upset because justice has been ignored so long. So to see another unarmed black man killed by the police is just too much for people to bear. And so it's all the other deaths of people who have basically died in vain and not gotten justice that have people out upset and ready to burn, loot, and stop participating in a hypocritical society.
But we cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals. New York's...
But there's no more that I can take listening to this man. It's important to understand something. As one of the things he declares is that he is the rule of law president. Right? He's the rule of law president. But the reason why people are so upset again is because of how hypocritical Republicans have been with the rule of law, with the rule of ethics, with the very notion of fairness within government, as they have just treated the opposition as if they're the enemy. Today, merely being a Democrat is wrong, and so the president refuses to even speak to them. This is anti-American, and any Republican senator or congressman that would dare stand for something like that is anti-American. Right? One of the biggest hypocrisies in it is that this man was impeached and the Republicans knew it and they just ignored it. And it's no rhetoric to say that the Republicans knew that the man had committed wrong. Here, Senator Lamar Alexander, Republican of Tennessee, it was inappropriate for the president to ask a foreign leader to investigate his political opponent and to withhold United States aid to encourage that investigation. That sounds like wrongdoing. That doesn't sound like a party of rule of law. That sounds like a party of wanting to hold on to their power. Another senator here, Senator Rob Portman, Republican of Ohio. Again, this doesn't sound like a man of rule and law. Even Big Head Rubio has to come and say, just because actions meet a standard of impeachment does not mean it is the best interest of the country to remove a president from office. Again, if it's the rule of the law that a president shouldn't be breaking laws and, doing the shit that he was doing, then he should be removed from office. But since he's not removed from office, who gives a fuck about the rule of law? It damn sure ain't Republicans, and it damn sure ain't this president. You have no leg to stand on. You have thrown away all your moral standing as a party for this man. And then you ask people to care about the rule of law, which you so easily shirk in the name of white supremacy. And let's not make a mistake about what white supremacy is. There's no such thing as white people, because there's no Whitelandia. There's European Americans who've taken on the label of white, but white is just simply a color. So it's important to understand that white supremacy is a cultural issue. There are many African Americans that suffer from this issue, and you can catch them on Fox News 24/7.